Now, today, what we have going on is something a little bit unusual, and that is something kind of, spontaneous that's happening. And that is the fact that Jada De Laurentiis is going to be coming here to the Amenten. Because she was at, Lubimbi Talea Talks Amenten, because they're currently focused on people in the Food Network right now. And, as it is Mercury retrograde, I have been rewatching Food Network Star, and over the years that I have done this Amenten, when I feel the inspiration, action happens and things happen. That's how it is. Things just happen in a really unusual and productive way. And I also want to say that it also takes you to do that, to make things run smoothly, so that we're not lagging behind. Because I made it really, really clear to you at the beginning of this particular retrograde, I wouldn't deal with any frustrations. Well, unfortunately that didn't pan out that well, because I had to deal with some frustrations with Susan, Linda, and Daniel, and I wasn't even aware of it. I wasn't thinking of it. It wasn't at the forefront of my mind. I'm not going to deal with those same frustrations again. And I'm just telling you, I don't want to be preachy. I don't want to be judgmental or anything like that. But if you're in a job, you have to do your job. And, you have to be there, and you have to do what you have to do. You can't slack off on the job. Now, there's a couple of reasons that I'm going to have you here, and the most important reason that here's the most important reason why all of you are here. Is because you're going to be working on the things that you need to get done. Because Kind Lick Academy is finishing up. Now, in the past, it was different. Kind Lick Academy finished up later into May. This year, it's finishing up earlier. So, you have finals, you have assignments that you're doing. Today is the day to work on those assignments. Today is the day to really get it done. Here's the thing. I've told you this before, that Mel Robbins has so many pearls of knowledge and wisdom. But if you have the attitude, I'm just going to push myself and get this done. Well, yeah, discipline and keeping up with it is going to be difficult. Because you're not always going to have the discipline. Instead, you have to be willing to go through the process. So some of what she's saying, is inaccurate. And some of her strategies are not the best strategies. if they were, I wouldn't be looking back on that particular day thinking to myself, wow, I regret pushing myself. I shouldn't have pushed myself. I should have taken a break. Well, actually, I should have just forfeited the assignment and either accepted the lower grade or just did it on a day when I was in a better mindset. I can't believe that I cost myself my own peace, my own contentment, my own sanity, my own happiness for a stupid assignment, for a stupid grade in a stupid class. I regret that, and I'm never going to do the same thing again. There will be times when you will have assignments that you will not see until you see it, and then you have to work to get it done. But don't cost yourself your own peace. Don't cost yourself your own peace. If you look back regretting it, then that's how you feel about it. And do something different about it the next time around. You know, weights and running and getting chores done is one thing. But the thing is, I feel like some of what, Mel teaches is in a way where it almost takes you out of the present moment, where you're working and working and working for a goal that you're not in the present because you're rushed and you're pushing yourself to get it done. And for some type of work, writing, analyzing something, that approach is going to hurt you, and you're going to stab yourself in the foot. So, yes, her work is, very good, very excellent. However, it's kind of impractical for some things. So, I just wanted to throw that out there. I hope that you understand how to rise above a situation when you're feeling really intense emotions. I hope that you can somehow stay in your truth and you're not getting sucked down or pulled down because of circumstances. I'm not blaming anybody here, but because of circumstances. You have an opportunity now, or whenever it comes up, to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this. And if you let certain things get the better of that, you may regret it later on. I regret it later on. You need to be true to yourself. even if it's hard in some cases, even if you feel challenged, to stay true to yourself, even if it's hard, then that may be something that you may need to push through. So yeah, talking about the work that you need to do. Get motivated to push through your work. That's the answer. Get motivated to work through what you need to do. I don't believe that motivation is garbage. I don't believe motivation is garbage. You believe that motivation is garbage. But then let's talk about presence. Let's talk about the fact that we're all human beings. We're all humans being. We're human beings, we're not human doings. And I don't say that from a perspective of weakness, of negativity. There will be a time when, when it comes to motivation being garbage, if you sit down and you feel like you want to do something or you feel guilty for doing something, and you can pick up the energy and get it done, that's one thing. But when you don't feel like doing it and you have this to do and you're, really looking at yourself and you genuinely don't feel like it and it's not the right time and you're rushed, there's a deadline or whatever is going on, then that's where it's different. And motivation is not garbage. Because it takes a certain mindset to be in, and it takes certain times where you feel like you can do something. And perhaps from a deep intuitive level, that it's fine and that it's right to do. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I did. And I regret it. Because I was not being true to myself. And it may require a little bit of self-deceit not to get that done, get something done at the expense of others if it's right for you. It may require that you are willing to do whatever you want to do and still have that thought in your mind. But you're trying to train yourself to have the thought but not do anything about it. Not compulsively take care of something that you should not be taking care of. It may be difficult because it may feel like you are depriving or restricting yourself off of doing what you need to do. but sometimes that's what it takes. So that's what I have to say about that. So that's one of the reasons why you're here. On another side to this, I was watching, a video. It was an interview of Pam Gregory talking with Kathy Rose the other day, and they were talking about Aries energy, in that it is a pioneering and initiating energy. And it's an energy that's self-sufficient. It's an energy that you can go out and do your own thing. And be your own person. And be your own leader in your life. Which may require facing challenges, and which may require having the confidence and courage to do it yourself. Do something yourself. And not being codependent on other people to do it for you. And there's tremendous empowerment in that. There's tremendous empowerment in that. And that is about facing challenges. And where it does take you to reach to a deeper level to do something, to work, to do what you need to do. So, here's what I have to say. I have an aunt who is my favorite aunt. My favorite aunt in all the world. But I really didn't get to know her enough for her to start telling me about what empowerment means, and what doing it yourself means, what taking responsibility and ownership and accountability for your own life means. I don't remember her saying that to me, or saying something along those lines to me. I don't remember that. And it infuriates me. And here's why it infuriates me, is because other people have said to take responsibility, to look to yourself, to take initiative, or, to do the work that you need to do for a particular class, and not blaming the teacher. That's really infuriating, that I have somebody that I really like and have loved for many, many years, and yet I don't remember hearing anything along those lines. And other people have said that. And it's the truth. And it's really, it makes me irritated. It really, really annoys me. It does. So I think the next time that we connect, I may go there. because I want to see if there is something there which says, yes, I'm on the same page as whoever. I mean, I just see some people, in Dance Moms, there's this girl, Jojo Siwa, is her name, and I see her, and it makes me cringe sometimes, and it makes me uncomfortable, because I see somebody who is not down to earth, and not practical, and not, serious. And it can also lead to the feeling of procrastination. When you are denying and when you are deceiving and breaking the rule of your own inner guidance telling you to do this. But notice where that can get modeled and that can get confused and distorted and colored by the outside. By the outside, by people externally to you, by family, by friends, by teachers. As somebody who does believe in co-creation and does believe in personal empowerment has said, live from the inside out and not the outside in. And that's so important, is to not let the negative frequency situations drain you. Is to be true to yourself. And that may take a lot sometimes. That may take you plucking up the courage to be authentic and not go with the group. Not go with others. That's what it will have to take. But that is the right direction to go in. That really is. As I said, I'm going to, I don't want to say probe. I don't want to go that far. But I'm going to get deeper the next time. And I'm going to see what the truth actually is. And if I hear anything along the lines of, oh, well, the teacher should make it, easy for the students to learn, or, the teacher should, provide more structural options. Like, if I hear any of that, I'm going to say, well, you know what? It's the students who have to pick up the courage and do the work. And I may go against my own, inner authentic, knowing. But then I wonder, what is, how do I really feel? And maybe you don't want to show how you really feel to somebody because you don't want them to see a certain side of you. You don't want them to hear that coming from you. So I'm going to see what's going to be happening next time, but I want to hear something along the lines of empowerment because it's going to really irritate me that somebody that I know and agree with and really like a lot, love a lot, who I wish was closer to me, doesn't seem to be on the same page of other people who are closer to me. Because I feel like that's not acknowledging the reality. And the reality is blaming others for, when there's something that you could do differently, when there is something, when you could put in the work, that it doesn't work that way. How about you turn the energy onto yourself and do what is in your power instead of saying, oh, it's hard, teachers, should do this, they should do this, they should do that. Depends upon the circumstance. Paul Court. I'm thinking of Paul Court right now. I'm thinking of that name in my mind, and that is the name of a teacher that I had this semester who was a complete and utter joke. He was a fool and he was a fraud because he did not do his job. He didn't do what he needed to do. He didn't give people the tools so that they could, put in the work and learn. So yeah, he was, completely to blame. Yeah, that's, it depends upon the situation. It depends upon the situation. It does. I'm just sick and tired of hearing things that I want, that, I so want to agree with. But then I know that others, perhaps other people that are more significant in my life, that I don't feel have the same philosophy. And I want to see that she has the same philosophy and beliefs as those, other people in my life. I'm going to see how far it can go before I can find some results, before I can find this person on the same page. I could sit there and say, you know what? I know people that are right. You're wrong. This is the reality. It's not this way. That's wrong. The reality is both and. It is both and. It's both your responsibility and then, others' responsibility. That can be difficult. In talking about the person who will be coming in today, as a guest to this Amenten, who, on the show, is kind of, meets certain criteria for being Exodorian. And what does it mean to be Exodorian? It means to be a person who seems like they're going to be helping a situation when others are making it really difficult for people. They're judging, they're criticizing, they are challenging, they're being very negative, harsh, maybe even disrespectful to that person. And then you have this other person who seems like they're going to be different and they're going to help this person, they're going to, make a difference. They're going to be more nurturing, be more helpful, be more understanding. And yet they agree with the one who is being negative, being super judgmental, being very harsh, or disrespectful. It can be both wrong or right. And that is what it means to be Exodorian. And then there is an expressed energy with that particular person. Here is an example of how that can show up. By the way, I want to come back to what I was saying earlier. I didn't feel like I haven't heard anything that I remember of my aunt acknowledging that life is challenging and you have to do the work. You have to put in the work. Not negative and effective, positive and positive. What is positive and empowering. And I want to make sure that I hear that from this again, it's irritating to me. Anyway, I don't know if I'm making sense when talking about this, but anyway, talking about what it means to be an exit door. What do you do when you are in a situation where you feel really irritated and mad that you want to fight somebody, but you don't want to fight, but you want to be passive aggressive? You want to go against your own truth and feel that delicious feeling of conforming when you feel such a strong, intense emotion against that person or against the situation. A suggestion probably would be to hear yourself say, okay, just confirming. Just to be the one who's really serious and professional and the one who is going to, do the work. And a passive aggression response may mean, I'm going to be really serious, this is, really serious business, or I'm going to be more serious than anybody here, under fire, if you don't feel like you can express yourself, then we often revert to passive aggression. That's not healthy. What is healthy is to pluck up the courage and assert your own self and be true to yourself.